Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. 25-year-old Arsenal player's agents now really think he's going to go to the World Cup. Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus was not named in the final squad selected by Brazil ahead of the 2022 World Cup. Journalist Tim Vickery has said that snub was a blow to his hopes of starting in Qatar and that it did not make much sense on paper. But according to The Sun, the 25-year-old's representatives remain confident of Jesus' hopes of going to the tournament in November. They think that the squad just reflected Tite's desire to check out other options and do not represent a longer-term threat to Jesus' hopes. In his next game for Arsenal, Jesus will expect to start front in the North London derby on Saturday, his first in Arsenal colours. That could well see him come up against international teammate Richarlison, who was Tite's preferred choice to lead the line this time around. Jesus could stake a claim at international level if he dominates that clash, but his agents still think he will be in Qatar when the tournament kicks off. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes also did not get the call up by Brazil despite Arsenal's impressive start to the Premier League season. They look to have more work to do than Jesus when it comes to going to the World Cup, but form and fitness can change quickly. The focus for Arsenal now is beating Spurs to kick off a frantic period of fixtures domestically and in the Europa League as well. Zinchenko is expected to play against Spurs despite injury worries. Arsenal have had a few injury scares during the international break. However, one of the Gunners' key players, Alexander Zinchenko, is expected to be fit to face Tottenham this weekend. With Arsenal locking horns with the Spurs in the North London derby on Saturday, it's been a tense time for the club's fans and staff. On Tuesday, Arsenal shared photos of the latest training session from London Conley ahead of the Premier League clash at the Emirates. With the international break not yet finished, Mikel Arteta had a smaller squad to work with. Nonetheless, several players who had left their national camps early were nonetheless not pictured in training. As per Football London, Kieran Tierney, Thomas Partey and Takehiro Tomiyasu didn't appear to be in this session. The former two were let go by their respective nations, with Tierney suffering a head injury against the Republic of Ireland. Meanwhile, Partey had to withdraw from Ghana's side to face Brazil with any problem. As for Zinchenko, he didn't travel to play for Ukraine due to an issue with his right calf and wasn't featured in training. However, Football London understands that the summer arrival is expected to be fit enough to feature against Spurs. Zinchenko has been a revelation since joining Arsenal from Manchester City in the summer. Previously, the Gunners would struggle if Tierney was unavailable, but now Arteta has a great selection headed at left back when both are fit. With Tierney adopted for the North London derby, the Arsenal boss can seamlessly keep quality there in Zinchenko. The 25-year-old is a phenomenal player and, if he can start, it will be great news for the Gunners. David Seaman says he's been really shocked by William Saliba for Arsenal. David Seaman has told the Daily Express that he has been left shocked by William Saliba this season, insisting that his form for Arsenal has been incredible. It's already remarkable to think that Saliba was awaiting the chance to make his Gunners debut before this campaign began, and there was even speculation that he may end up leaving the club permanently. Certainly, Seaman did not expect Saliba to prove so influential so quickly this season. The fourth one, even though he's not really a signing, is Saliba. It's incredible what he's been doing, he told the Daily Express. Saliba has really shocked me because it just shows you how going out on loan works. He's been out on loan for a few seasons, got really good experience, and when you watch him now, you think he must be about 27 because he looks so confident. It's frightening to think that Saliba does not turn 22 until the final stages of the campaign he has taken to the Premier League so naturally. He did not have the best time on international duty this time around, but he is clearly well in contention to go to the World Cup later this year, and his performances are big victory for Arteta. The Arsenal boss came in for a lot of criticism for how he used the defender during his first couple of years at the club, With Arteta coming under real pressure in that time, weaker managers would have given the supporters what they want and thrown Saliba in much sooner. We will never know if he would have thrived in the same way at that time, but there is absolutely no question that Saliba is now looking every bit the player fans hoped he would be. Arsenal think they have got a 21-year-old youngster who could yet become a star. Arsenal think they have gotten a youngster in Folarin Balogun who could yet become a star, according to Fabrizio Romano. Balogun is currently on loan at French outfit Stade Reims and is putting in some impressive displays in League One. The 21-year-old has already netted 5 goals and registered 2 assists in 8 games for Oscar Garcia's man, and the Arsenal talent has carried his superb form into the international break while playing for England's under-21 side. Balogun latched onto a loose ball in the penalty area against Germany last night and finished excellently off the inside of the near post, and it seems Arsenal are taking note of his performances this season. Fabrizio Romano reports that Arsenal are really impressed by Balogun's performances so far this season. The youngster's loan move to Rams is proving to be a big success, and the Gunners will be keeping an eye on his progress throughout the campaign. Balogun posts a brilliant goal-scoring record for Arsenal's under-23 side in the Premier League too, having scored 34 goals in 56 appearances. His loan switch to Middlesbrough didn't quite work out during the last campaign, as he found goals hard to come by, but it seems a move to France is really benefiting the talented striker, and he will be aiming to stake a claim for a place in Arteta's squad next summer. Balogun has already made 10 appearances for Arsenal, and with Edin Ketia struggling for game time, he might be confident he can come back and make an impact next season, but for now, the England under-21 international is gaining valuable first-team experience and will be hoping to continue his fine goal-scoring form over the course of the season. Darren Bent blown away by 24-year-old Arsenal player. Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale has been praised by Darren Bent on TalkSport. The pundit mentioned the Gunners' stopper while discussing the England team ahead of the World Cup. Ramsdale enjoyed a superb maiden season at Arsenal after joining from Sheffield United last summer. He quickly dethroned Bernd Leno as the Gunners' first-choice stopper. Ramsdale made 37 appearances for Mikel Arteta's side last season, keeping 14 clean sheets. This season, the 24-year-old has hit the ground running again, helping Arsenal to top spot in the Premier League table. Ramsdale has kept 3 clean sheets and conceded just 7 goals in 7 top-flight outings. Despite his impressive form for Arsenal, the £30 million man didn't feature for England in their last 2 games. Ramsdale remained on the bench as Gareth Southgate opted for Nick Pope against Italy and Germany. Bent, speaking on TalkSport, expressed surprise with the Arsenal man not getting a game for England this month. He gave Nick Pope 2 games, which surprised me, said Bent. I thought he would have given Aaron Ramsdale 1 game or Dean Henderson 1, and then Nick probably the other. The fact he played Nick Pope in both games kind of tells me that Nick Pope looks like his Gareth number 2. Now, would that mistake at the end have changed Gareth's train of thought? I don't know, but I mean, I have got Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's been brilliant for Arsenal, but on the face value it looks like it's going to be Jordan Pickford will of course be the number 1, Nick Pope the number 2, and maybe Ramsdale number 3. Pundit makes a very valid point regarding Harry Maguire and Ben White. Noel Whelan has added his voice to the pundits, who are baffled that England left Ben White at home in his international break. The Arsenal defender is regular for his club and his one reason they are at the top of the Premier League table at the moment. Despite that, Gareth Southgate left him at home and picked Harry Maguire, who has lost his place in the Manchester United starting 11. The defender caused a penalty in England's 3-3 draw against Germany, yet he looks set to be on the plane to the World Cup in Qatar. Former Leeds man Whelan is baffled by that decision and insists White is a much better defender. He tells Football Insider, I find it really difficult to understand. He is a natural centre-half. He's been doing a fantastic job for Arsenal, but Harry Maguire has been sitting on the bench. How does someone who is key to a successful Arsenal side not to get included? I find it bizarre. I actually think Ben White is a better player than Harry Maguire. He is doing a fantastic job at right back for Arsenal, and I think that was actually just another string to his bow that would help his chances of being included. It's a strange one to get your head around, but it's just my opinion. White has been proving he is a top centre back, even though he is playing out of position at Arsenal now. Maguire is simply an expensive flop, which everyone sees except Southgate. It remains unclear when the England gaffer will drop the former Leicester City man for White. Perhaps he will lose his job before realizing that. Yuri Tielemans could be available for under £20 million in January after asking price slashed. Reported Arsenal target Yuri Tielemans could be available for under £20 million in January, with 90-minute reporting his asking price has been slashed by Leicester City. The Gunners aim to bolster Mikel Arteta's midfield options over the summer and even launched a late bid to sign Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz. Arsenal were unsuccessful but were linked to a special player in Tielemans throughout the course of the summer. Arteta's man decided against launching a bid for Tielemans during the window, despite the door reportedly being wide open for a move. And now it seems that the Belgians' asking price could be slashed in the January window. 90-minute reports that Tielemans has no intention of signing a new deal with the Foxes, with his contract expiring next summer. This means the 25-year-old could leave the King Power Stadium for less than £20 million in January. Leicester will undoubtedly be keen to recoup some money for Tielemans rather than allowing the player to leave for free next summer. Newcastle United are also interested in the Leicester man, with 90-minute noting that Eddie Howe is a fan of the player. The Foxes are said to be open to allowing Tielemans to leave during the next transfer window, which could open the door for Arsenal. Arsenal have been linked with Tielemans over the course of the summer, and it's unclear why they haven't firmed up any apparent interest. The Belgian has been brilliant for Leicester in the Premier League and would add quality depth to Arsenal's midfield. Arteta has been left short in the area at the beginning of the season after injuries to Thomas Partey and Mohamed El-Neni. It would make sense for the Gunners to move for Tielemans in January to bolster the area, especially if he is available on the chip. Fabrizio Romano provides update on Barcelona star's future amid Arsenal transfer links. Fabrizio Romano has played down talk of Ferran Torres being a possible candidate for the exit door at Barcelona amid transfer rumors linking him with Arsenal. The Spain international hasn't had the easiest time since moving to Barca from Manchester City, but writing in his exclusive column for Caught Offside, Romano suggested he would still likely be given time to prove himself under Xavi. Arsenal were recently linked with Torres by El Nacional, and it could make sense for the Gunners to keep looking for new signings up front after recently losing both Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette in the space of a few months. Aubameyang left back in January, while Lacazette then made his way out of the Emirates Stadium in the summer, though Arsenal did move to sign Gabriel Jesus to strengthen their attack. Torres could be another option worth considering for the future, but Romano does not seem to think anything concrete is happening in that department at the moment. I am not aware of any negotiation between Barcelona and any other club for Ferran Torres, Romano said. Xavi trusts him, and so I don't see any change of plans, at least for January. He is working hard, and I think it's normal at Barca to need some time to adapt with lot of competition too. Barcelona fans will hope Torres can achieve his full potential, while Arsenal supporters will perhaps continue to keep an eye on this saga to see if a fresh speculation emerges again anytime soon. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.